What's going on in Wisconsin, y'all? They saying there's a epidemic of missing black women. I guess there's a lawmaker that's trying to start a task force. I don't know. Let's check it out. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Addressing the disparities, the Wisconsin representative is shedding a light on the state's high rate of missing and killed black women and girls.
Fox 6's Durante Matthews joins us live with her mission to create a state task force. Durante?
And Ted Mary, Democratic representative, that is, Sheila Stubbs, says she's been fighting for this task force for at least the past 2 years now. And the recent death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson is only adding fuel to her fire.
My heart hurts for her family.
Representative Sheila Stubbs is brought to tears when thinking of the death of 19-year-old Sade Robinson.
We have to do something now.
Milwaukee police say Robinson was killed and dismembered earlier this month after a first date with 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson, who's now charged with her homicide. But violence against African-American women is...
What the hell is going on, man?
African-American women is an ongoing issue in this first date with 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson, who's now charged with her homicide. But violence against African-American women is an ongoing issue in the state that Stubbs says needs to be addressed now.
How many more black women or girls have to be sacrificed in this state before we do something?
Data from the CDC says in 2020, Wisconsin had the highest homicide rate for black women in the country. That rate doubled from 2019 to 2020.
There's a resource issue, and we need to handle it.
These numbers and issues prompted Stubbs to propose a bill 2 years ago that would create a task force for missing and killed black women. The proposal failed, so Stubbs reintroduced it this session, fueled by the case of missing Racine woman Lashiki Hill. But Republican Senator Dewey Strobel never scheduled it for a public hearing in his Government Operations Committee. He sent us this statement saying, in part, "While I believe the authors of this bill are well-intentioned, I personally have reservations about creating a state government task force that focuses on only one facet of a much broader societal problem." Strobel ultimately released the proposal, which ended up getting bipartisan support in
What's the broader? I don't know. Sounds like an excuse, but sounds like he pushed it through anyway. Because he sounded dumb as hell.
in another committee, but it never made it to the full Senate floor. Stubbs says the fight is far from over.
I said, what do we want?
I am not, and you can take this one to the bank, going to stop until something is done across the street for Black women and girls.
And Stubbs says she's reached out to the governor. She also plans to meet with the attorney general to find some sort of way to make this task force happen. Live in Milwaukee, Durante Matthews, Fox 6 News.
So,
our big story today at 5, the man accused of killing a Milwaukee woman and dismembering her body pleads not guilty.
Prosecutors say Maxwell Anderson killed Sade.
Let's keep it going. Let's see what happened in the court.
Robinson and then mutilated her body earlier this month. Aaron Mabin is live with more from today's hearing. Aaron?
Ted and Mary, this was a quick, straightforward preliminary hearing. It lasted just 4 minutes. One of the big takeaways is Maxwell Anderson will head to trial for the killing of Sade Robinson. This is a gruesome, complex case that began with a first date that somehow went horribly wrong.
Accused killer Maxwell Anderson walked into a Milwaukee County courtroom for a preliminary hearing Monday afternoon. Prosecutors say he killed Sade Robinson before dismembering the 19-year-old's body earlier this month.
I have read the criminal complaint. It does state probable cause. Waive reading?
We do.
The 33-year-old waived his right to a preliminary hearing and will head to trial.
Did you also understand that by waiving that hearing, you are conceding that the state can establish probable cause, and you will be ordered to stand trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anyone make any promises to get you to give up your hearing?
No, Your Honor.
This is Maxwell Anderson's first court appearance since the torso and arm believed to belong to Sade Robinson were found along Lake Michigan last week. Anderson was arrested April 4th, 2 days after someone found Robinson's leg at Warnemont Park in Cudahy. A criminal complaint says investigators used surveillance and cell phone data to track Anderson down. Prosecutors say the two went on a first date when Robinson was killed. What led to the death and a motive are not clear.
This gentleman, I believe, moved very calculated through the city and was intentional about where he placed the body parts, the car, setting it on fire, and just getting on the bus as if it was just an ordinary day.
April Bentley was one of several people who attended the hearing to support Sade Robinson's family.
I needed to be here to support the family, even though they weren't here. I stand in the gap.
Earlier today, we got our hands on a brand new amended criminal complaint that reveals the blood that was swabbed on the bedding in the basement of Maxwell Anderson's home is not a match for Sade Robinson's DNA, but prosecutors did not say whose blood that is. Maxwell Anderson's next court appearance will be May 16th. Ted?
Aaron, we heard from him in court today answering the judge's questions. What was his demeanor like overall? Did he look around looking for his family members? Was he looking around at whoever was there to support Sade Robinson?
And Ted, we just looked back at that video, and it just looks like he walks in the courtroom and he stares straight at his attorney, and then when he sits down, he stares straight at the judge. When we heard from him today, that was some of the most talking we've heard from Maxwell Anderson, Ted, since this all began.
Aaron Maven reporting live for us tonight.
That's wild. That's wild. You want to know what's interesting? Something that they say. I think at the first video that it's the I can't remember who it was. The person in charge, one of the DAs or something like that, tried to say it wasn't. Basically, it wasn't. It was a small part of a bigger problem. What's interesting is that this will not make national news. Like, I'm here in LA, it's not on our news. I'm sure many of you, unless you live in or around this area, have not heard it. And it's just a shame. It's a shame that even within the Black community, we don't have some sort of outlet to hear about this type of stuff on a more consistent basis. Although that would be difficult to hear, every single day. But this is big news. Like, this is big news, and the fact that it doubled from between 2020 and 2021, or 2022 and 2023, whatever, the rate of Black women and girls being killed doubled. Something weird is going on out there in Milwaukee. Y'all be safe. All my Milwaukee people, y'all be safe. I don't personally know anybody that lives in Milwaukee. I don't even know if I know anybody from Milwaukee. But if you are and you're watching this, y'all be safe. Yeah. Also, if you are and you're watching this, drop some information down in the comment section. I'm gonna actually write this down as something to follow up on, and we'll track it. We'll track it here on Black Primacy. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.